Hey there, Saki here from Saki Tech, and in today's video, I'm going to do a complete comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Now you may be asking yourself questions like, shall I upgrade from the Note 4, or perhaps, shall I get the Note 4 or the Note 5? And this video will tackle those questions directly. Now to give you guys a perspective, the Note 4 was released in September 2014, and almost a year later the Note 5 comes to light in August 2015. So let's dive in and do a full comparison between the two, starting off with the build quality. So Note 4 is a fantastic device. Its build quality is excellent. You have tough Gorilla Glass 4 in the front, a solid metal frame that surrounds the edges of the device, and full leather construction with a nice grippy texture on the back. There's no question that when you hold this device in your hands, you get a solid sensation of holding a premium device. So far, so good. Now the thing is, Note 5 simply brings a new dimension to the build quality and the design language of the Note lineup, deriving the same high caliber build from the Galaxy S6. It is meticulously crafted out of metal and glass with no trace of plastic left. The bezel of the device is all magnesium alloy, whereas the front and back panel of the device are built using Corning Gorilla Glass 4, which is one tough piece of glass with best-in-class durability. The final result of this construction is a device that feels like $1,000,000. Note 5, from a purely build perspective, will be an upgrade over the Note 4. Now notice that I keep saying words like build and feel, because although the actual build quality of the Note 5 is superior and the feel of the device is more premium than the Note 4, if you look at these devices just lying on the table, especially from the front side, they look virtually identical. Only when you get up close and personal and hold the device in your hands does the Note 5 shines exclusively. Now obviously the lack of the faux leather offers virtually no grip, and it is an ambush for fingerprints. Those two things actually matter to some people. If I'm holding a $500 plus smartphone in my hands, I actually appreciate the sense of security I get knowing that it won't just glide out of my hands. So remember, you will lose that nice solid grip of the Note 4 that does have its own appeal, and you will riddle the glass back of your Note 5 with fingerprints. Now this is a problem that can be solved by a skin or a case at the expense of losing that personal touch and feel of that beautiful glass finish on the Note 5. So both these devices have great build quality and they both look beautiful. The best way I can put this is that while the Note 4 feels like $1,000,000, the Note 5 feels like $2,000,000. So let's move on to the processor, memory, and storage options. So the Note 4 has a quad-core Snapdragon 805 processor clocked at 2.7 GHz with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage for the base model. You do get a micro SD expansion slot, which will allow you to add an additional 128 GB of storage in case you need it, and some people do. Now the Note 5 comes with the latest Exynos 7420 octa-core chip. Octa means 8, so we have 8 total cores, with a set of quad cores clocked at 2.1 GHz and another set of quad cores clocked at 1.5 GHz. You get an enormous 4 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage on the base model. Now you can also purchase a 64 GB if you pay extra, but you do not get an SD expansion slot, so adding extra storage after you buy the phone is out of the question. For some people, this is obviously a big concern, so it is an important factor in our comparison. Now we do have a better processor and more memory on the Note 5, so I will be doing a processor and memory benchmark at the end of the video to see which one is faster, or rather how much faster the Note 5 is than the Note 4, so stay tuned. Next up, let's take a look at the screen size and resolution. Now in this category we have no changes. Both phones offer a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED screen with a Quad HD resolution of 2560 by 1440 and 518 pixels per inches. Display quality of the Super AMOLED screens are undisputed, and there's plenty of evidence to support that online if you look in the right places. So rest assured, you get the best-in-class Quad HD display on the market with either one of these phones. Let's also quickly take a look at the size and weight as well. So the Note 5 is 153 millimeters in height, 76 millimeters wide, and 7.6 millimeters thick, and weighs only 171 grams. Whereas the Note 4 is 154 millimeters in height, 79 millimeters thick, and 8.5 millimeters wide, weighing only 176 grams. Quick look at the numbers reveal that the Note 5 is overall smaller and lighter, but not dramatically. And honestly, all the latest flagships these days are extremely thin and lightweight, so although I will continue to use these metrics for comparisons, I won't put too much emphasis on 5 to 10 millimeter differences and a few grams. So let's move on to the software. Now both phones run Android Lollipop with TouchWiz overlay. Overall, both phones look and feel similar. They are both fast and snappy, but you will get a little less bloat with the Note 5 due to the refined TouchWiz interface. But regardless, neither phone will disappoint in responsiveness. Now, as you know, the addition of S Pen adds an extra layer of functionality to these phones, giving you excellent note-taking capabilities, sketching capabilities, and being able to annotate virtually anything and much more. You also get access to the Air command, which is slightly different in both versions. With the Note 4, the Air command menu gives you 4 preset options. With the Note 5, you get 3 similar preset options, but you can add up to 3 app shortcuts to quickly access most used apps, which is a nice enhancement. So that's one new thing. And also the Note 5 allows you to pull out the pen and quickly take a note without even having to turn on the device, to perhaps quickly jot down a phone number or something like that. I do want to conclude here that either phone is a productivity powerhouse that allows for excellent split screen multitasking and S Pen functionality that we have mentioned above. Additionally, you get all the benefits of an Android operating system, which allows for extensive customization and personalization. Let's move on to the camera. So spec wise, we have nearly identical cameras. We have 16 megapixels rear facing cameras on both the Note 4 and 5 with optical image stabilization. Note 4 has an f2.0 aperture, while the Note 5 has an aperture of f1.9. The lower the aperture number, the better. The lower aperture will allow you for better low-light photography. So if you take a lot of photos at nighttime, the Note 5 will take the lead. As for software, the Note 5 has a much better and easy to understand user interface, as well as a pro mode that gives you manual control over your camera. Manual control lets you adjust things like the shutter speed, ISO values, and focus completely manually. If you are a photographer, you will appreciate this ability, otherwise you may not care. But let's make a clear distinction here. The Note 5 has the same state-of-the-art camera that the S6 and S6 Edge have, and it is better than the Note 4. It will give you better image quality and better color accuracy, period. Now, another great feature on the Note 5 is the ability to double tap the home icon, which quickly launches the camera so you can take a shot without losing the moment. Note 4 lacks this feature. As for video, you can record 1080p in either 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, and you can record 4K with either one of these cameras, so that's great. Note 5 additionally offers a video digital image stabilization that works together with optical image stabilization to give you extremely steady video recording experience. As for the front camera, a camera that I rarely use, you get a better 5 megapixel super wide angle camera on the Note 5 versus a 3.7 megapixel camera on the Note 4. So that's the story. You are definitely getting an upgrade here, and if you are an avid photographer, pay special attention to the camera when you are making a decision. Fingerprint sensor. Now both the Note 4 and Note 5 have a fingerprint sensor. However, the one on the Note 5 is considerably better. It has a great sensor that works seamlessly, and that's what we want from a fingerprint sensor. You simply tap on the home button, which doubles up as the sensor, and it unlocks your device without any problems. The Note 5 requires that you swipe your finger over the sensor from top to bottom, which is a hassle because many times it doesn't work properly. So the Note 5 takes the win here without a question. Battery life. So the Note 5 has a 3000 milliamp hours battery, and the Note 4 has a 3220 milliamp hours battery. Although the Note 4 has a large battery, the Note 5 will actually have slightly longer battery life on a full charge for moderate to heavy use due to some software and hardware enhancements. I wouldn't worry too much about the milliamp hours in this case, but what has been worrying a lot of people is the lack of a removable battery. The Note 4 has it and the Note 5 does not. As a matter of fact, the back cover of the Note 5 is completely non-removable, so if there is a concern, then the choice is clear. Go with the Note 4 if you want that battery to be removable. Otherwise, be aware that while Note 5 doesn't have a removable battery, it does have wireless charging that the Note 4 lacks in this case. In fact, you can also get fast wireless charging, which will fully charge your battery from 0 to 100% in 2 hours, purely with no wires whatsoever. Now, as far as the color options and pricing goes, the Note 5 comes in white, black, gold, and silver, starting at $750 for the 32GB base model, whereas the Note 4 comes in black and white, and the price will fluctuate between $500 and $700 based on promotions and discounts. So let's do a quick benchmark, and we will be using the Geekbench benchmarking tool to measure the software and memory performance of the Note 5 and the 4 to see which one has more raw power. Geekbench benchmarking tool simulates real-world scenarios to see how your device will handle tasks and applications. So let's dive in. First step, of course, to make sure that nothing is running in the background, so let's close everything out on both of these devices. And let's also go to the Task Manager on the Note 4 and make sure there's no tasks running in the background. And let's launch Geekbench 3 on both of these guys. Let's click Run, and I'm going to fast forward to the end to see the results so we don't have to waste time here. So it doesn't take a genius to interpret these results. As you can see, the Note 4, which is sitting on the left, has higher scores for both the single core score and the multi-core score. So it is considerably faster than the Note 4. Probably 30 to 40% faster. So what's the deal? Let's do a quick highlight of everything new on the Note 5. Better design and superior build, considerably better camera and camera features, a fingerprint sensor that works, and wireless charging as well as fast wireless charging. Those are the only notable improvements. Dimensions and screen quality virtually are the same. Software experience and productivity features such as multitask and S Pen will be equally fulfilling on both devices. And there are some slight improvements on the software side, but not too much. The two things you will lose if you upgrade to the Note 5 are the removable battery and also the SD expansion slot. So if you buy a 32GB Note 5, you're stuck with 32GB of storage capacity and no more. So those are the merits and the demerits. Now, if you are new to buying a Galaxy Note product, if this is your first time, I highly recommend getting the Note 5 for the best experience. If you want to upgrade from an existing Note 4, you can hold off because beyond the high build quality and the better camera, you aren't really getting much else. Otherwise, if you're looking for a superior smartphone at a low price, then go for the Note 4 because it will be cheaper than the Note 5, yet still provide a flagship experience. However, do not buy the Note 4 if for the rest of the year after your purchase you continue to keep fantasizing about the Note 5. And that's it. Alright, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down below in the comments section. Subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. The links will be down below in the description. Have a great day.